The grocery store hummed with the usual low buzz of fluorescent lights and distant chatter, but for single that Marcus hailed, this moment felt strangely aware, as if the air itself carried a warning he couldn't yet name. He had just picked up a few essentials with his daughter Lily, cereal, milk, and a pack of her favorite stickers, simple things, things that made their evenings together feel normal after the rough year they'd both endured. He was tired, still wearing his work shirt and the same weary expression he always tried to hide from Lily, but her small hand in his made everything feel bearable. They stepped up to the checkout counter, and at first nothing seemed unusual. The cashier, a young woman in her early 20s, offered a timid smile. Her name tag said, Emily, and though her smile tried to do its job, her eyes were red as if she'd been crying moments before they arrived. Marcus noticed things like that more now. Loss had sharpened his awareness of pain in others. He placed the items gently on the counter, letting Lily keep hold of her cereal box because she always insisted on handing it over herself. But as Emily reached for the scanner, Marcus caught a glimpse of something that made him pause. Her hand trembled, not just a small shake but a deep, uncontrollable tremor that made the item slip for a second. She quickly tried to hide it, squeezing the scanner tightly, forcing another smile, but the mask didn't hold. Marcus glanced at Lily, who was watching Emily with the innocent concern only children had, then back at the cashier. It wasn't just fear, there was desperation in Emily's expression, something raw. Rough day, Marcus asked gently, hoping not to embarrass her. Emily halted slightly, clearly not expecting kindness, and shook her head too quickly. No, I'm fine. Sorry, the scanner's just being weird, she mumbled. But Marcus had spent the last year learning how to read between the lines. He had learned how to hold Lily together even when he was falling apart. He knew what eating pain looked like. And this wasn't a faulty scanner. When Emily reached for the card terminal, her hands shook even harder, and this time she couldn't hide it. The machine nearly slipped from her grasp. Behind the glass office window in the back, the store manager, a stern man in a vest, watched her like a hawk. Emily's eyes flickered toward him, then away quickly, and Marcus thought he saw something like fear flicker through them. Emily, he said quietly, leaning closer so no one else would hear, why are your hands shaking? Lily looked up too, hugging the cereal box tighter. For a moment Emily froze, her face crumpling like she was trying to hold herself together with sheer will. She glanced at the manager again, and Marcus felt his stomach drop. Something was wrong. When she finally spoke, her voice cracked. Please don't tell him, she whispered. The words came out so faintly Marcus barely heard them. Tell him what? Marcus asked, soft but steady. Emily swallowed hard, and tears began to well in her eyes. I didn't want to come in today, but I had to. He said if he missed another shift, I'd be fired. Marcus frowned. Are you sick? She shook her head. Not exactly. It's my brother. She took a shaky breath, trying to steady her hands, but the trembling only worsened. He's 12. I'm all ears. And he's really sick. His fever got worse last night. I wanted to take him to the hospital, but we don't have insurance. So we left him home with water and medicine and I had to work. I can't afford to lose this job. I can't. Her voice broke, and she covered her mouth to stifle a sob. Marcus felt something inside him twist painfully. It had been there, the helplessness, the impossible choices, the weight of responsibility. After his wife passed away, Ed had nights just like that, trying to work, trying to parent, trying to survive. He understood more than she could ever know. Emily, he said fiercely but kindly, you shouldn't be here. Your brother needs you. She shook her head frantically. I can't walk out. If I leave, he'll fire me. I'm barely hanging on as it is. Our rent went up, groceries are insane, if I lose this job, we lose everything. Her voice trembled as much as her hands now. Lily tugged gently on Marcus's shirt. Daddy, she needs help, she whispered, her big eyes full of empathy. Marcus looked at his daughter, then back at Emily, and they knew what he had to do. He wasn't rich, not even close, but he had learned something important. Sometimes help wasn't about money, it was about stepping in when someone else couldn't stand alone. He straightened, lifted his chin, and turned his gaze toward the manager in the back office. The man was still watching, arms crossed, expression cold. Marcus had dealt with men like him before, men who used fear as management and control as a tool. Emily's shaking hands weren't caused by illness or weakness. They were caused by intimidation and exhaustion. Marcus stepped slightly closer to her, lowering his voice but letting it grow firm. Emily, listen to me. Go home. Go to your brother. I'll take care of this. Her eyes widened. No, no, please, you don't understand. Ed doesn't listen. I'll yell. I won't, Marcus said. Not this time. Emily shook her head again, terrified. You don't know him. Marcus smiled faintly, a tired smile from a man who had fought more battles than he ever talked about. I'm a single dad, he said quietly. I've met plenty of people like him. Emily covered her trembling hands with her apron, tears slipping down her cheeks. Why are you doing this? Marcus looked at Lily, who smiled softly at Emily, then back at the young cashier. Because someone else helped me on a day I couldn't help myself, Marcus said. And he promised I'd pay that forward. Emily burst into quiet sobs, wiping her eyes and shaking her head as if she couldn't believe what was happening. I'll get fired, she whispered. Marcus handed Lily the cereal box and gave her a reassuring nod. No, he said, turning toward the office. He will. And with that, Marcus stepped away from the counter, his exhaustion replaced with determination. Emily watched him in stunned silence as he walked toward the office door, the manager's eyes narrowing as Marcus approached. Lily slipped her small hand into Emily, Siglo. It's okay, she said gently. My daddy helps people. Emily let out a soft, disbelieving laugh through her tears. I can see that. What happened next would change everything, for Emily, for her brother, and even for Marcus and Lily. But that was a story for the next moment, the next heartbeat. For now, Emily stood there, still shaking, but for the first time all day, it wasn't from fear, because someone saw her, someone cared, someone stepped in. And sometimes, that's all it takes for a life to turn in a different direction. And if you want to hear the rest of this powerful story, what Marcus said to the manager, what happened to Emily's job, and how this moment sparked something far bigger, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. You won't want to miss what comes next.